Guys, let's continue our presentation here of the RadCORE project. In the previous video, we saw here the use of HR charges. Okay, well, what are we going to see? Now there are some layouts on the internet that use a component that we use the term collapse. Okay, so they are components in which I have a container. This container has other components inside, okay, and it comes in sequence with other objects that will also have components inside, and then, in order not to be a super full screen, you can create this sequence of components, okay, with collapse. To be able for the user to open and close the way he finds most interesting, it's within your project, so RadCORE also brings something for you to be able to enjoy in this sense, without once again it's our big focus, right, without using HTML, okay then. Let's take our previous example. I've got here my block 10 such, which is our block here for initial use. Okay, it's just that I want to use my collapse here from my card such and such, so I want to work here with my card, which is mine. Block 20, right, so I'm going to hit the right button here to trigger the context menu and trigger the RC elements, as you've seen before. Okay, so one more action, let's learn one more action. We've already seen blockify, we've already seen the VCL conversion, and now we're going to see collapsify, folks. So, I clicked on my block 20, which is inside of my block 10, which is my parent block, and I want to make my block 10, which is my parent block, I want to make it collapsible. Let's say, let's use this term, I want to allow open and close. That block. So I'm just going to click here on collapsify, okay? And then you're going to have here in my property editor, that it's going to create a label for us, the name of the label that you can modify here now in RFCElementes, and it's going to bring here the link to. RadCORE wants to know with which block you want to do the linking of the component that will perform the collapse. That is, as I said before, my parent block is 10, so I'm going to come here and I'm going to put the RC block 10, just put the title of it. It's by default the RadCORE will bring here OA. Height, a height that is usually the default of the height of the header of our card, but this here people is changeable, okay, so you can here easily modify this to make the block bigger, to make the block smaller, and you can also use another attribute, another excuse parameter. That we're going to go in a little bit to see what it is. Okay, so just to recap, opened, I clicked on collapsify and pointed out which was the block that I want to collapse. I'm going to give it OK. See what RadCORE did, it was simply inserted a small label, a unilabel inside our header. There is none. Event in it, right? And let's then compile and see the result, okay? So once it's compiled, there's the cute little arrow from our project. I'm going to click on it, close the block, the arrow changed, opened the block. So that's the collapse effect that we see in a lot of HTML templates out there on the internet, okay? Now, I repeat, we are not using, inserted or resorting to HTML, so what is it that we have here of attributes such that we will now know the inserted label? It has an attribute collapse, this attribute it has some, this attribute has some parameters such that I can work, I can modify the icon, okay, I can start this block of mine already closed, okay, so there are a series of parameters that you can use here, okay, so as we saw here our block started open, so I can come here and put the collapsed one. which is what we're seeing here on the screen. Okay, I'm going to give it an OK. I'm going to compile my project and I'm going to refresh it. Our block started closed. OK, and now I can hear, oh, open it and closed, right, in the same way as we saw earlier. OK. Guys, once again I wanted to demonstrate to you how easy it is to get super nice layouts. Okay, super easy visual effects. Okay. And web resources without the need for an HTML template, without the need for HTML knowledge. So one more RadCORE visual resource item that we can apply dynamically and in a super simple way, without any work, without any previous knowledge. Okay. A big hug to you and see you in the next video.